Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be making this beautiful top. I have made the short in the previous video because it's supposed to be a two-piece set. So in this video, we'll be making just the top. So if this looks like something you'll be interested in, please stay tuned and keep on watching. For this tutorial, we'll be needing just a little bit of fabric. I used about 1 yard and about 10 inches, but you can use more if your size requires. So I've gone ahead to fold my fabric into two, to like the longest part into two, and I'll fold it again because we are making a full flare. We are making a full circle top. Just so you know, we are cutting the front and the back piece together. That's why we folded this into 4. I'm sorry, I later turned this fabric around to start my measurements, taking my length and my other measurements, but I didn't show it. So I'm going to be explaining what I mean. Like this place that I kept my tape right now is the folded edge, while the other side that I'm stopping the length of the top is the open end. Okay, when you fold your fabric, the folded edge is the part you start taking your measurements from. So for this top, I'm taking my measurement length 22 inches all round. It's a full flare, it's already folded into 4, so I'm taking all around 22 inches. I'm not going to be taking extra for folded allowance because I'm going to be using a bias to pipe this round. So again, we are going to be taking our measurements from that edge, like the folded edge that I talked about. We're going to be taking our neck measurement and our armhole measurement. So I'm going to be measuring 5 inches round for the neck measurement, and I'm going to be marking for the armhole about 8 inches for the armhole. That is the measurement I'm using for my armhole. So remember to take your own specific measurements. So for now, I'm marking 5 inches round for the neck line. Having done that, I'm going to proceed to taking the measurement for the armhole. On the side of that particular edge, the folded edge, I'm still going to go down by 8 inches for my armhole. So this armhole right here, I'm going to measure 4 on the neck, 4 inches on that 5 inches that we previously marked, 4 inches to connect to the armhole. So you'll see in a minute, I'll connect that 4 inches mark that I made on that 5 inches there. I'll connect it down to the armhole. So what we just did is just a guide on how to get the front neck piece, like to get the front measurement perfectly. So we are still going to go up on that 5 inches line. We are going to go up by 1 inch to perfectly draft out the front neckline. And we are going to connect that to the 4 inches that we got earlier. We are going to connect that to the 4 inches that we got earlier that is connecting to the armhole, and that is what we are going to cut out for the front piece. But before that, we are going to cut out the fold so that we'll get our back piece and our front piece separately, because the front neck and the back neck, they are not the same, so we have to cut them separately. The front neck is higher than the back neck. That is why we came up by 1 inch after the 5 inches mark. We came up by 1 inch. So now we have cut out and separated both the back and the front piece, as you can see. So we are going to just cut out the neck measurement that we already made. That will serve as the front piece. we are just going to cut it out from the armhole down to the new measurement that we got earlier, that we raised by 1 inch from the actual measurement. We're not cutting on the 5 inches line, we are cutting from the raised, remember the place where we raised by 1 inch. So we are cutting from the armhole down to that part where we raised by 1 inch, and that's going to serve for our front piece. Now I just notched the center of our front piece, so I will know where the crisscross will be, the placement. So now we are going to be drafting for the back piece, and for the back piece we are basically going to take that 5 inches that we used initially for the front piece, which I said we're just using as a layout to be able to map out our front piece perfectly well. We're just going to mark it back on this back piece, and that is just it, just the extension of 5 inches from that edge down. And now you're going to mark everything, calculate everything around to be sure that it is up to 8 inches. If it is not up to 8 inches after you calculate it around, you will have to add at least 1 inch or 1.5 inches to bring it down from the top. So instead of 5 now, you're going to be marking 6 or 6.5 round to be sure that you get up to 8 inches. After that, we'll just mark 4 inches from the center of the back and notch that 4 inches away from the center, because that's going to be where we'll be placing our strap for the arm, so that it can sit correctly on the back. So you just notch it so that you don't forget. You will notice that when you place the front piece on top of the back piece side by side, on the edge you will notice that the back piece is a little longer than the front piece, and it is supposed to be equal. So go ahead and join them side by side and notice where that's the front piece ends on the back piece. Notice where it ends on the back piece. Don't be scared, you are still on the right track. So you're going to fold this up, both the back piece and the front piece, so that you mark accurately where one stops, and then you're just going to shade it in like shown in this video. Shade it in and trim it out so that they will both align. So I already made straps that I will use to cover around the neck, both for the back and the front. So I'll just go ahead and pin them down so that I know what I'll be working with. I'll just pin. I made 2 straps, one to go on the right side and one to go on the left side. Remember, it's a crisscross we are making, so it's 2 straps, not one. One will not cover everything, if not it will not form the crisscross, so you have to use 2 straps. Just make a strap as long as you desire, because at the end you are going to be using an adjuster, you know, that stuff that comes with a bra, regularly comes with a bra. I'll be showing you later in this video. So I went ahead and took the second strap and pinned it on the other side of the front. This is the front piece. I pinned it on the other side of the front piece, and you will see in a minute how it looks. So I'm done pinning it, and this is what it looks like. I will just go to the sewing machine and sew that round. Now over to the back piece. Remember the middle, we notched from the middle, we measured 4 inches from the middle and we notched. that's the part we are going to be attaching our back string. So we are going to measure 2 inches of bias or the fabric you're using, and we are going to attach this hook to the bias, and we are going to attach it to that point where we notched 4 inches away from the middle of the back piece. I couldn't find the other type of hook that is circular that you just pass through with the bias. So this is what I have, and it is not very hard to work with this, as you can see. So after attaching the hook for the both piece, I will then go ahead to attach them on the area that I notched. Remember, 4 inches away from the middle of the back piece, that is where you attach the strings. So after fixing the hooks, I'm going to go ahead to place them right side facing each other on the part that I notched. I'm going to fix them over on the right side, not on the back side of the fabric, so that when I pipe round the rough edge with a bias, it's going to close up like this. It's going to close up like this. There's not going to be any rough edge showing. I hope you understand what I mean. Now remember the bias that we sewed around the front to close the rough edge that is supposed to be our handle. Now we are going to attach that to the back. But before we can attach it to the back, because we are using an adjustable hook, we are using a hook that can help us adjust the arm of our clothes. Whether it's too long, we can adjust it. If it's too short, we can adjust it. So we are still going to use that same hook. Carefully put it through as so. Please, it can be tricky sometimes, so just watch what I am doing. I don't know if it's clear. I should have brought my hand closer to the camera, and maybe I'll do another video for that. So carefully do it like this. Put it through. As you can see, we'll still have to pass this through the back hook, the hook we have on the back. So after fixing the hook on the front, remember you have 4 hooks, 2 for each sleeve, 2 for each arm. If your front bias is too long, you can trim off some. I used a total of 18 inches. I think about 18 or 18 and a half inches for my total length of my front bias, because I'm still going to be putting this through the back hook, and I'm going to adjust. If it's too long, I will adjust. If it's too short, I will adjust. So I'm putting it through the back hook. You have to be very careful while doing this process. Like, your bias from the front does not have to be twisted. If not, it will affect the result, your final result. Like, everything will be twisted. If you're wearing a bra and the bra doesn't sit, the arm doesn't sit very well, like if it's twisted, you have a little bit of discomfort or bulging in your dress, like whatever you're wearing over the bra. So you need to lap the bra properly so that all those visible bulges will not be seen. That's the same thing you have to do here. Make sure that everything is straight. Everything is facing the direction they are supposed to face. I'm supposed to zoom this in so that you can see. So after doing that, whatever rough edge you have at the end, you sew it flat. As you can see, I just put everything together and made sure that everything was lapping properly. And then I'll take this to the sewing machine and cover up the edge, the open edge on the bias, and also the sides of the top. It's a free top, so I'm just going to take half inch from the side and cover it up, cover both sides up. And then I'm also going to use a bias to pipe around the hem of the top. I'm using a bias because I feel it's much easier to use a bias to pipe around. There'll be no folds, nothing. So do the same quantity, the same measurement of bias you use to pipe the top of it. You're going to use it to pipe the bottom of it as well. So that's all for the tutorial of this top. As you can see, I already piped down the hem round, and I also have the short tutorial in my previous video, so you can go and check it out if you